Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are broadcasting live from Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. The headlines. President Bola Tinubu inaugurates Committee on Implementation of National Single Window Project. International Monetary Fund acknowledges tightening impact of national monetary policies on stabilizing naira and curbing inflation in Nigeria. Federal government reiterates resolve to prioritize youth empowerment through digital skills acquisition for national development. And stakeholders advocate upholding freedom of expression and safety of journalists for promotion of democratic growth. Let's begin at the State House. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated a steering committee on the implementation of the National Single Window Project, describing it as a transformative project that will propel the nation's economy to new heights. The president at the inauguration called on Nigerians to support the initiative, which symbolizes a better future for the nation. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Our economic growth has been hindered by the complexities and inefficiencies in our trade processes. Today, we say there should be no more.
The paperless trade alone is estimated to bring an annual economic benefit of estimated $2.7 billion, and the president said it is time for Nigeria to join their ranks and reap the reward of a streamlined, decentralized trade process.
The national single window is not just about Nigeria. By linking our system with those of other African nations, we will expedite cargo movement and optimize inter-Africa trade. This initiative is a testament to our commitment to regional integration and our belief in the power of collaboration.
His assurance is creating a more transparent, secure and business-friendly environment that will attract investment and spur economic growth.
The implementation of National Single Window will not be an overnight process, I know. It will require dedication, collaboration, and a phased approach. But I assure you, my fellow brothers and sisters, that we are fully committed to seeing this project through. We will work tirelessly to ensure its success, engaging all partner agencies and stakeholders to create a system that works for everyone of us.
The project is a decisive window through data harmonization to improve trade facilitation, revenue generation, economic growth, transparency, security, and streamline processes that will transform the country into a global trade powerhouse.
The National Single Window is not just a technological advancement. It is the gateway to a more connected, efficient, and transparent system. By linking our ports, government agencies, and key stakeholders, we will create a seamless ecosystem that will facilitate, save time for business, and open up a world of opportunity, from providing access to education and healthcare to enabling small business to reach global markets. Digital connectivity is the key to unlocking Nigeria's true potential.
Ending this inaugural meeting marks a new era of unyielding commitment to prosperity, efficiency, and endless possibilities, symbolizing determination to build a better future and show the world that Nigeria is ready to take its rightful place as one of the leaders in global trade. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
The International Monetary Fund has commended Nigeria's ongoing efforts at tightening national monetary policies, acknowledging the impact on stabilizing the naira and curbing inflation. The IMF, in its World Economic Outlook, projects that global growth will hold steady at 3.2% in 2024 and onto 2025. Muplang Dakok reports.
Despite gloomy predictions, the International Monetary Fund increased its growth forecast for Nigeria to 3.4% this year from 2.9% last year. Nigeria is one of the resilient countries whose inflation rate bottomed to about 33% in March. The IMF consequently notes the bold economic choices being made in the country and applauds these attempts. On the global front, the IMF predicts that growth this year and in 2025 will hold steady at 3.2%.
Cutting emissions is compatible with growth, but emissions are still rising, so more needs to be done and done quickly. This will require technology transfers by other advanced economies and China to other emerging and developing economies, as well as substantial private and public financing. On these questions, as well as on many others, multilateral frameworks and cooperation remain essential for progress.
The meeting challenged policymakers to prioritize the strengthening of government finances and revitalizing economic growth prospects. From Washington, D.C., Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government says youth empowerment through digital skills acquisition for sustainable job creation in Nigeria remains key to the growth and development of the country. Minister of State Youth Development Ayodele Olawande stated this during an interaction with a delegation from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Senior Executive Course 46, on study tour to the ministry. Olainka Ojo reports.
Unemployment and empowerment are the most pressing issues confronting world leaders in the 21st century, with negative implications for economic and social progress. Nigeria is no exception, and it is to address this issue, among other things, that this delegation from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Senior Executive Course 46, are on a fact-finding mission. Their aim is to understand the issues and challenges the ministry faces in addressing issues around digital economy, youth empowerment, and sustainable job creation for Nigerian youths.
The youth are our competitive advantage. We have a large number of youth. They are very restless, they are very knowledgeable, and people tap on their experience, on their knowledge when they go outside. So why can't we internalize our strengths? We want to see how what they're doing can be improved upon in order to provide the youth with sustainable jobs for sustenance.
With funding, collaborations, engagements, monitoring and evaluation of success stories at the heart of youth development, Minister of State for Youth Development says one of the most promising solutions to youth unemployment is the intentional and systematic acquisition of digital skills. He explains that it is vital to all sectors of the economy and offers a competitive advantage for employment, self-reliance, and sustainable wealth creation in today's world.
It will be a crime for any youth not to have a skill. The youth of this country must have at least two skills that can and that will and that we think is going to transform to one local government, one product. And what are the products we are talking about? We are not talking about Dangote refinery, we are not talking about that and that, we are talking about cottage and agricultural industry.
The outcome of the visit will enable participants formulate policies for government, which will in turn ensure Nigeria achieve a digital economy that empowers youths, as well as provide sustainable jobs for them. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian communications satellite, NIGCOMSAT, says the much-anticipated presidential project 774 VSAT digital installations powered by the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy across the 774 local government areas in the country, is progressively etching towards completion of the first phase. A statement by Nigerian Managing Director Jane Egerton-Idehin indicates that the project, which is the initiative of the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, is to connect all the local government area councils in Nigeria to the digital economy, with Nigerian handling 579 local government areas. Nigerian is expected to connect these assigned local government headquarters in Nigeria via satellite coverage, leveraging the Ka-band network asset of the Nigerian 1R communications satellite. Phase 1 of the project covers 45 local government area councils in Borno, Cross River, Imo, Kogi, Kwara, Ogun, Sokoto and Zamfara states, and is gradually reaching concluding stages, while in Imo, Zamfara and Cross River states, VSAT installation in all the allocated local government councils for the first phase has been concluded 100%. The assigned local government councils in Kogi in the same phase is at 90%. Upholding freedom of expression and safety of journalists is a panacea for promoting national cohesion and overall democratic growth. This was part of the views expressed by stakeholders at the review and validation on curriculum developed for students in law faculties on freedom of expression and safety of journalists, organized by the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies and UNESCO. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports.
Expression is a fundamental right enshrined in international and regional legal frameworks, though, like other rights, it's not absolute, as there are legitimate restrictions. However, the worry has been the reported cases of harassment, arrest, and intimidation of journalists in the course of performing their legitimate duties. This, according to legal experts, can be addressed through strengthening of rule of law and enhancing the capacity of judicial officers.
The curriculum actually contains, current information on the trends of case law and jurisprudence across the globe on how to promote, protect, and enforce the rights of journalists, freedom of expression, access to information, digital rights, and all the legitimate restrictions that courts across the globe.
Opinions, knowledge, and input provided by participants are of great value in guaranteeing that the curriculum adheres to the utmost levels of academic rigor and effectively tackles the ever-changing obstacles encountered by journalists.
Head of UNESCO Abuja office reiterates the organization's commitment to continue to build capacity of legal minds towards protecting the freedom of expression and safety of journalists.
It is true, the exercise of the right, that it is possible to ensure a well-informed citizenry, to ensure openness and transparency, and to hold those in power to account.
Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Director of Nigerian Law School, and others commended the curriculum, saying it will strengthen rule of law, safeguard journalists, and promote accountability in governance.
Now, in line with its intervention mandate in critical sectors of development, the Northeast Development Commission has distributed drugs, medical equipment and consumables to primary and tertiary health facilities in Borno State. Maimuna Garba reports.
A healthy citizenry is one of the 5 drivers of the strategic pillars of Borno State 25-year development framework and 10-year strategic transformation that prioritize the well-being of the citizenry. To complement the state government's effort, the Northeast Development Commission has distributed medical consumables worth over 40 million naira to 10 primary health care agencies across the 3 senatorial districts of Borno State, in addition to medical equipment to University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, built at 15 million naira following its week-long training to health personnel on cervical cancer in the state. State Coordinator NEDC Mohammed Umaru Watsada said the NEDC will continue to avail the people of its life-touching interventions in the health sector and other critical areas of need.
We have the automated nuclear acid extractor, it's a machine. We have laboratory incubator, biosafety cabinet, autoclave, a modern autoclave, and then oxygen cylinder, ventilator, and then mobile thermometers.
Recipients of the medical consumables and equipment acknowledge the far-reaching impact the intervention will have on prospective beneficiaries.
These materials can help us to improve our quality of services.
They came at the right time when the needs of these items are highly needed in the hospital.
It is expected that the intervention will go a long way in meeting the health needs of the people. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10 on NTA News. 24 more reports after this break. Welcome back. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has advised the Arewa Consultative Forum on the need to give its maximum support to achieving the federal government's policies and programs. The former president made the request while receiving a delegation of the forum on a courtesy visit to his residence in Daura, Katsina State. Husseina Suleiman reports.
These are the members of the regional forum, which is providing the platform for the promotion of unity not only in the north but for the entire Nigeria as a nation. They are from the Kano branch of the Arewa Consultative Forum led by Dr. Faruk Umar, who has told the former President Muhammadu Buhari that their aim is to complement the federal and state government effort within the democratic framework.
To show him our appreciation of what he has done for Kano State in particular and Nigeria in general. He has done a lot for us, and we believe that even after he has left office, this will be the right time to come and show him our appreciation. Well, we found him very healthy and hearty and very cheerful and friendly, and he gave us a very warm reception, and you know his attitude of cracking jokes.
Former President Buhari has appreciated the ACF commendation on his life as president.
Thank you very much for coming. I very much appreciate it, and I'm very happy that Nigerians are showing their appreciation of being around after I left, not while just now.
The former president has also stressed the need to always cooperate with the government policies at all levels toward achieving a sustainable development, while the ACF applauded the gigantic project executed during 8 years as president. In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
To environmental matters now, the United Nations, the European Union and partners are again committed to providing Nigeria the required technical support to effectively address climate challenges as Nigeria prepares for the Conference of Parties in Azerbaijan. This is coming at a one-day international review of the outcome of the 28th session of the Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in Abuja. Charles Alpha reports.
It's been 5 months now since Nigeria participated, along with other nations, in the 28th session of the Conference of the Party, COP28 in Dubai. There, several outcomes that would shape man's future and his environment were outlined, and with countries expected to implement the resolutions bordering on transitioning away from fossil fuels, global goal on adaptation, climate finance, and declaration to triple nuclear energy. What the National Council on Climate Change, the Ministry of Environment and foreign partners are doing here is to unpack the significant outcomes of the UN Convention and set Nigeria again on the path to Azerbaijan, where COP29 will be holding.
Our participation of COP through statements, negotiations and other engagement reaffirm the need for strengthened collective climate change action across the 3 pillars of the UNFCCC.
COP28 reaffirmed our collective determination to tackle the essential threat caused by climate change, which has been clearly itemized by most of the speakers here.
Here we are as European Union, together with other partners, to walk that talk. I mean, to invest in the conditions that are making the arrival of investment in the renewable sector possible.
For the United Nations and a host of other foreign partners, it is another opportunity to strengthen technical partnership and to support Nigeria, facilitate inclusive participatory process to motivate action towards higher ambitious goals for Nigeria's transition. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In the meantime, key players, especially authorities in flood management at the national and across subnational levels, are expected to step up timely efforts to mitigate probable flood risks across the country as the rainy season sets in. This is the implication of the 2024 Flood Outlook, an official document of Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, for flood preparedness, presented by the Water Resources Minister to the general public. Olusheye Adeagbo reports.
Flooding has been the most frequent natural disaster in Nigeria, coming with its devastating impacts on the vulnerable population and threatening food security. Year 2024 has been predicted to have its own share of flooding again, though in different degrees.
Officially present the 2024 Annual Flood Outlook to you all. This year's theme, promoting the use of data analytics and modeling for flood risk assessment and food security, aligns with the presidential agenda on food security, which forms the fulcrum of this administration.
I am optimistic that this year's annual flood outlook AF4, which is tailored towards effective management of flood risk for achieving food security agenda in our dear nation, will create the much needed awareness for promoting resource planning and sustainable socio-economic development.
In the year 2024 Annual Flood Outlook AFO, 148 local government areas in 31 states of the Federation are at risks of high flooding, while parts of 249 LGAs across all 36 states and the LCT fall within the moderate flood areas.
The negative impact of flood would, however, be on the decline by promoting better understanding of flood risks and ensuring appropriate mitigating measures being deployed to deal with flooding issues in Nigeria holistically.
If relevant authorities, in this case in the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, can make efforts to deseal our waterways and the various dams that are all over the country, so that we'll be able to maximize our dry season farming operations.
Expectations of these actors is to make communities across Nigeria flood resilient through information in the documents. In Abuja, Olusheye Adeagbo, NTA News.
And the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in partnership with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, is to educate farmers on weather advisories as it affects farming activities. This is coming as NIMET says the 2024 rainy season is yet to commence in most parts of the country. Musa Baba Ali reports that hotter temperatures are predicted in the coming days.
Since February 2024, Nigerians have been experiencing hot weather with temperatures going above 40 degrees Celsius in most parts of the country. It was predicted that the weather will remain warm above normal temperature till the end of May. The rising temperature is already having negative impacts on vegetable production.
Then agricultural bulletin, which will release every 10 days.
And this brought about the partnership between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency.
Under the collaboration, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has handed over to NIMET the ministry's 10 automatic weather stations to expand NIMET's capacity in data and information gathering for the agricultural sector.
The 2024 seasonal prediction will be broken down to include types of crops to be cultivated at a particular period and location throughout the season.
Farmers need to be equipped to make climate-informed decisions. Food inflation is now beyond economic tools. Climate change is driving inflations. As we can look at the inflation, food inflation, you ask yourself, the increasing temperature, what does that do to the agricultural products? So these things have effects on inflation.
It is predicted that the 2024 rainy season will commence in June or July in most northern states and will cease in October. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
You're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll take another short break. We'll be back in a moment.